Hi everyone, Scott from ColourSpace here, back for another episode of Take 5 with the Art, where we all collectively take a few moments from that daily grind and just disconnect from it all and just stop, pause and look at a beautiful piece of artwork. So as always, pens down, keyboards aside, and let's take 5 with art. So the piece we're looking at today is Purple Rain by artist Britt Merrylees. Britt was born in Melbourne, where she was the only person in her high school to pursue art. However, as she progressed into working life, she followed a journey of marketing and advertising before realizing that she needed to reconnect with her roots of art. She now is based in Sydney, where she works as both a photographer and an encaustic artist. So if you're wondering what exactly is encaustic art, you wouldn't be the first. I hadn't come across this until Britt had got in contact with us. And what I've learned is that encaustic art is usually created by melting beeswax and or powdered pigment and mixing it together. Encaustic art can also be created actually by melting other materials such as crayons. And the result that you get is a very textured surface with a rich luster to it. Now, wax can only be painted whilst it's hot, usually between 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. And so what that means is that artists creating these works have to either paint with a heat gun or melt the wax over, say, a stovetop before applying it to a hard material such as timber below. For this piece, what it looks like Britt has done is created the wax in layers. So rather than putting the wax here and then manipulating it, it looks like she's created a few layers and then just continue to overlay and overlay and overlay with new layers of wax. At the end, she's then dripped bits of wax over the top, giving this art the namesake, Purple Rain. So as with all art appreciation, especially with an abstract piece like this, there are always our 3 steps to follow. 1, straight up, do you like it? If not, then step 2, are there any particular elements that you like? And finally, step 3, if you don't like the piece, that's also totally fine. You don't have to like every piece. For me, when I first saw this piece, I was admittedly a little bit so-so on it, because when you see a piece like this as an image, you think, oh yeah, it's just layers of color. I've seen something similar to this before in other artists' works. Which of course leads us to step 2. Are there any individual aspects of this artwork that we might like? And definitely there is. As an encaustic piece of artwork, there is something unique about it that other abstract works don't have, and that is you can touch it. Because it is a wax material, it is a lot tougher and more durable than, say, an acrylic on canvas piece. And so what Britt has done, and what she does encourage in terms of touching, is that she's given us new senses with which to experience her work. Now, you can't tell, being on the other side of the monitor, but you can actually even smell the piece. You can smell the wax of this artwork. And combined with the sense of touch as well, there is just a new way of being able to engage and appreciate a piece that visually may not stand out as much. As a result, what I take away from a piece like this is just to be reminded of how you can combine different senses to be able to create new experiences. Whether you're in a business and you're selling something that's sort of visually very striking, other ways that you can combine other senses such as touch, such as smell, such as sound to it to create an all new, unique experience. I mean, have a think. Is there something more that you can do right now as part of your work, or is there some way that you can combine a few experiences together to create something new? I'd love to know what you come up with. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, that's time. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me to look at Purple Rain by artist Britt Merrylees. Now, get back to work.